Alright, now it should be working. We should be good. Yeah, not the best price action. We're getting a little bit of a push down now. But we kind of just like chopped around for like no good reason for a little while. I'm not even sure what that level is from. I think it's from like the day before. I don't know if it'll be important today though. We do have the overnight lows coming up. And the 15-minute range will be set in 3 minutes. No news today. I mean, there's a couple of yellow folder like random things, but I don't know if that's gonna matter. But I think those things do help the market a little bit. I don't know. It's better than like a complete no news day. Took a trade sorry. Took a trade in Asia. Not gonna trade this New York bipolar action. That's smart. Pay request at the end of the day. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, no, yesterday was very terrible price action. I definitely traded more than I should have. Not too much. I just ended up with a loss when I was up like 1 win. And I should have like known like, oh yeah, this is a choppy, bad day. I shouldn't trade anymore. Instead I took like one more that looked, I mean, it's a good setup. Just not a good day. Lost it. Then I was break even. Then I take one more, lost it. Then I was down one. So down one, loss, not the end of the world. But since I was up like a win, it's a little unfortunate, you could say. Yeah, I might need to start trading the Asia. I mean, that'd be better too for like other reasons as well. Beyond just like the price action. I mean, sometimes I do have stuff going on in like the evening with like friends or family and stuff, but Sometimes it'd be nice to have my mornings free. Recently, it's definitely been. Like I said, the first like year and a half that I've been trading, or maybe even 2 years, it was not so good. It was almost untradeable. I mean, it was literally like trading at like this time. Like, you know, if I squeeze the chart down, like this is what it usually looks like. And it's like, well, I can't really trade this. Obviously, that's just like me zoomed out a lot. Might get a bear flag here. Market's still, I'm not sure if it wants to go lower or not. ES is taking its time to get to the lows. It's actually like, it pulled back almost to the highs. And Q never even pulled back. I guess that's where this chop came from. That's why I didn't win that trade. Right idea, just, oh, we are going lower, chat. We are going lower. A lot lower. That was kind of wild. Well, so much for the bear flag. But I guess we get a retest, maybe, off the overnight low.
Order submitted.
Maybe this low. I don't know if I should like wait. It's a little volatile
Order
right now.
canceled.
That might have been like a tweet or something. Yeah, we do have news tomorrow. We got CPI. I believe. Wait, right? Or did it get rescheduled? I'm not seeing it on my website. Yeah, chat, what's going on? The CPI is not tomorrow anymore. At least on the websites that I use for news. Ooh, buy now. Possibly. Bounced off one of like yesterday's levels very well. Don't know which one it is. And I usually delete the old ones, which will do. But I did bounce right off of it, which is kind of funny. That would be a decent entry short. Yeah, 10 wouldn't be bad. But I might wait for the pullback all the way up to here. Depending on how the price looks on the way up. All-time high today. That is quite the call outs. No, but yeah, I'm looking at the Forex Factory and Financial Juice, and I'm not seeing a CPI or PPI anymore. I don't know, chat. I'm kind of liking the idea that I just stick with the lows, you know? Or the shorts as we continue to make new lows. But wait for a pullback and then continue it. Or we build out a reversal and go back up, in which case I will maybe go long. You see, buying right now just can be a little scary. not a big fan of those falling knights, you know? This thing just keeps going down. Not a fan. But not a bad little bounce here. I said, depending on how price looks, we might take that retest here. Also, we have the EMA here. We could respect and build out some sort of bear flag and continue lower. You guys still not gonna enter? There's no offense, but like there's no reason to enter for me. I don't know your reasons. Feel free to share them, but all I see is one green candle. That doesn't mean anything to me. Like this one green candle, if I bought here, I would have lost a lot of money. That's all I'm saying. But I'm not saying you don't have reasons. I just don't know those reasons. Therefore, I'm not buying. And until I see my kind of reasons that I would look for. Because one green candle is all I see on the 1 minute chart. But feel free to explain your thought process and your reasoning. Because it might make sense. This was a bull trap. So it's kind of looking like. But Prakash is he's very confident we're going to all-time highs from right here. This is it right here. You buy now and it goes to all-time highs. Like I was saying, he could be right. But also, all I see is one green candle. That's not enough to give me confidence to go long, that's for sure. At least give me like a higher high or something. That's kind of what I'm thinking. We didn't quite build out a bear flag, but that was kind of what I was hoping would happen here. I made 2,500 today. Jeez, that's killer. Well done. You're out here looking for good discounts on propfirms? Well, you came to maybe not the best place, but a pretty good place because Funny Ticks has a pretty good deal right now. 35% off for new users if you use my code. So you can get a all-in, no activation fee, 50k propfirm account for $55, I think. I got the EMA rejection. Yeah. Let's see. Still pretty far away from the EMA on the 15-minute Pokemon. I'm going to keep my eye on that. I think, a little bit. This still might work out to be a pretty decent bear flag though, so. No activation fee for PA? No. Once you pass the evaluation, you just go straight to the evaluation. You don't have to pay any fees with funding ticks. So yeah, the price to get funded is basically like 50 to 60 bucks. Unless you buy one of their more expensive accounts, in which case it's like
Order filled.
What is it? It's like 80 to 100 or something like that.
Target filled.
Alright, there we go. There's the bear flag. Nice little win there. You see any reason to buy now? No, I see a reason to sell and make $250 like I just did. But I'm sure we could still go back up eventually. But right now we're going down. Why he just frowned like that? Oh, I mean, he's been just, doing his typical, like, buy. And it felt like his comment was a little dissy. I'm sorry if it was not. But he said, you see any reason to buy now? Kind of, it felt like a little bit of a diss from earlier when I said I don't see a reason to buy. And I was a little caught up in the moment from this win. Like I was like, well, looks like a reason to sell to me, and I just made $250. So caught up in the moment a little bit, and I thought it was a little bit funny too, because I was like, well, if I would have bought, I would have been down $250, or well, now like 500. So I do apologize if it was indeed disrespectful in any way, but it was a good sell. But in your defense, if we do break this high on the 1 minute, right? We swept the liquidity down here. We break this high, then I'd be saying, you know what? We're probably gonna go long now. Get a little pullback into here somewhere, and then continue higher. That's what I'd kind of need, is go back up here, pull back, and then we'd probably make the move up. In my opinion, that was weird. Hey, this is really dope, man. Thanks. Hey, you're welcome. I just found it on YouTube, just like a free background music mix, but I like it. I'm glad other people do. That's the goal. Ooh, Prakash is still buying. Well, hopefully it works out for you. Seeing you move the box. Oh yeah, this one. Keep my eye on it. Again, I kind of wish there was a way to like see just like where the line has been, because it is kind of hard to kind of keep track of. Just because I do like switch back and forth. Because like I'm here looking for trades. And I do have like other screens. Like I do have like my trading view, which currently is showing the 15-minute. So I can see like, okay, like the low here was this, and obviously I only have to like look at it when we're at the lows, but still. It might not be in the most correct spot, but then we make a new candle. It's like, oh, gotta readjust a little bit. We'll see what happens here with that. That 10 entry would have been perfect. Oh yeah, you did call that out earlier. I remember that. Yeah, it would have been perfect like right here. Luckily I caught the bear flags. Still got a little piece of the move. You can technically draw an EMA using low plus minus the buffer. Alright, here's the high. So now he could be correct with the buy that we were talking about earlier. Or that he's been talking about. So yeah, I'd be a little bit more on board with that now. But also not completely, just because of the overall higher time frames. Hey, that's what's important right there. Like I respect him for that. He trusts his strategy, and I mean maybe it didn't work right here. It sounds like he didn't get stopped out, which is good. If I feel like if I was in a long, I probably would have gotten stopped out down here. But again, that's because I don't know the strategy. It's not my strategy, but if it works for you, stick to your strategy. Do what works for you. If you're confident in the buy, you should buy, you know? And that's why I don't. It's because I'm not confident in it. But maybe one day I will. Yeah, definitely a bit of a reversal setup here. You know, just like taking out the lows, liquidity sweep, whatever you want to call it. And then we take out the previous high, we'll pull back. Kind of rejecting out of this fair value gap. I mean, hard to know exactly what's going to happen. It does look kind of like a bullish reversal setup in some aspects. Let's see what happens though. Feels dumpy. A little bit, like overall. But this 1 minute action is definitely saying otherwise to me. But also that's just it's one little move up, right? So yeah, we broke one high, had a little pullback. We'll see. I don't trust my strategy the same way I don't trust a knife. But I'm lucky a contrarian. So we have 5 minutes set up. Alright, yeah, I haven't been watching the 5 minutes. Or drawing the box on that. But it does look like it's kind of in that area, potentially. Yeah, I was kind of thinking of waiting for the 15 as well, just for that extra kind of strength. It is nice that the 5 is an option, but it's probably something where I'd stick to the 15 just because I have tried it a couple of times and like it's like, oh, this actually works pretty well compared to other stuff. But definitely could be something to still keep an eye on. Tech Crew Chief, thank you for the follow. Now we got 2 techs as well. Heck yeah. Oh yeah, he don't like that. That can only be one. Alright, here's a little bit more of a pullback. So we'll see if we make that a higher low here. Or if we just kind of dump through this. 5 minutes kind of setting up a bear flag here, so that could definitely play out as well. But also this could be that higher low to continue this newfound kind of uptrend here. See if it has any sort of life in it. Lebo jumps, thank you for the follow, appreciate it. One big red and buy. Okay, so maybe what time frame are you on? Is it 5 minute or just like 1 minute? Or maybe even higher. Because I remember you mentioning like the 5 minute before, that's why I assume it might be the 5 minute. Nice little pump there. Yeah, there's the higher low we were talking about. So this definitely could be pretty bullish, at least for like the short term potentially. But once we get up to here in the 15 minute, that's when I might be looking for shorts again. Nice little pump there again. Kind of rejected though. What's your target? Hold still closest his target. Interesting. Alright, we're now wicking into the 5 minutes EMA. Actually, that might have been what this wick was from. I know he's definitely leaving out a few details, but I think I kind of understand it a little bit. So I think it is kind of based off. I mean, maybe it's any time frame, but I think specifically it's the 5 minute. I think when he sees a big red candle like this or this, he buys. So I'm not sure if he lost on this trade because it did go up from 77 up to 703. So it's definitely like 23, 5 points. So like it's a decent amount of profit. Unless he took the loss because it kept going down. But if he bought here at 78 and he really did hold it, I mean, he's up here. Okay, but he does say he doesn't do that. He waits for a momentum shift. Interesting. It's a nice little reversal, like I said, though. Kind of in here, up here. Pretty solid.
Order submitted.
I use the ORB strat, worked for me, TBH. I do like the opening range. That's why I have it marked out. That's the white line right here. The breakout worked out fantastic today. I don't typically trade the breakout, but I will trade like if we break out and then come back and retest it. I do look for a little trade that bounces off of it, which we didn't really get today, unfortunately.
Order filled.
But usually works pretty well. For my blue line, a flag. Kinda. It's not. I mean, if you look at the bodies, it is kind of like a pullback and then it breaks the high right here and then it goes up. But like, compared to something like this, where you can see like the wicks are slowly kind of making their way up and they're following the line a little bit. We did poke through once or twice, which isn't the best. Um, I wouldn't really consider this a flag. Chris Weber, thank you for the follow, appreciate it.
Order filled.
But I mean, somewhere in here. Sorry, lost my train of thought. But yeah, it's hard to kind of draw like a real clean flag from this, if that's what you're talking about for like the bull flag. Compared to something like, I mean, even like right here, right? You can see like these wicks. Like if we would have broken here, would have been a nice like bear flag. This is kind of what I look for is just like the wicks on the bottom. Sometimes if one pokes through like that, it's not the worst trade, but the cleaner the better. A lot of sellers there though. We're off the 5-minute EMA. Yeah, that would have been the EMA entry. Oh yeah, even for like the 15-minute. Or wait, no. Yeah, no, I think that's pretty close to the 15-minute. 15 and the 5. Yeah, they do seem to be a bit off. ES is actually at the lows right now, so Nasdaq's a little bit behind. Let's see if it catches up here. My 1 minute says sell. I would agree with you now. I'd say, especially since we took out this low, and since we're supporting the 5-minute EMA on Nasdaq, I'd say, so if we get a pullback or something like this, could be a good sell, or even right now, it would probably go down to the lows. Sell till 550. I'd agree with that. Yeah, we never quite made it to the Want to move it down a little bit. Never quite made it to the zone on the NASDAQ 15 minute. Unless we do need to make the zone bigger. ATR is above average. But it's not like super big compared to some of the days last week. We do have a 5-minute bear flag that could be playing out here. Let's move these out of the way. Yeah, something like that. We did kind of wick down. Probably would have made my 12.5 points, but also I probably would go for a little bit more on a 5-minute trade. It should be. Actually, it might be a hair's. Yeah, that's exactly 10 points, which is what it was before, but I think I was just a little more like zoomed out. So it should be 10 points is what I had before. Should be the same. Oh, but if we get a bear flag on the 1 minute here, it could be kind of nice. Off the EMA, continue lower, finish the move. Ben Brown, thank you for the follow, appreciate it. That could have been the entry right there. Only problem, and I've said this before, when we have a bear flag, or even like a bull flag, but when like one of the candles in it, especially like the second one, has 0 wick on the bottom, or like a really small wick, it just doesn't. That's not my favorite for the flag, just because like this candle, there was not a single like. There's no seller. Like the price never went below the open. It still might work out here, but it's just not the best candle if you're wanting to go short. But that doesn't mean it won't work like it is right now. It's just kind of like not the best to draw. And there's just like no wick on this candle. It's kind of not technically my kind of bear flag. But we did hold the EMA and make a little move down, so not the worst play. Move happened on ES, not NQ. Yeah, that's what I was kind of seeing. Let me switch over to my ES chart. Now here's the 1 minute. You can see we took out the lows after a little bit of the consolidation here. But yeah, I think up in here, that's when we touched the 15 minute. Yeah, there it is. Kind of like twice here. Unless this one might be a little far away, but this one definitely kind of rejected here. Probably got in just somewhere in here, maybe below the 15 minute range if you care about that. And then yeah, that's an easy like, what's that? From like, let's say like here, like 80 82, 81. Get like 10 points almost out of it. And yeah, it looks like it was pretty clean too. If we go to the 1 minute, I mean, depending on like when you got in, it did chop around for a little bit, but once it started making the move down, it made the move down. And you definitely could have had some nice scaling in right here to the lows. Looks like we could kind of make that move back up. We'll see if it happens on NQ. Oh yeah, easy 9 points out of this. Especially if you got in like, I know typically you'll get in a little bit early for your scaling. So you probably would have got in somewhere in here when it hits the zone. So I mean, that would have been, yeah, really easy 9 points. But even if you did wait for that confirmation, kind of either down towards 82 or like even 81, still would have gotten 9 points out of it. KOD continuing to rip. Nice. We just need NASDAQ to do something here. Looks like ES might even continue lower. But NASDAQ looks like it wants to bounce a little bit. And I don't really care which it does. I just wanted to do something. Yeah, I'm definitely curious, like, because he said like momentum shift, but he was also telling us to buy like right here. And all there was right here was like this one green candle in the 1 minute. I guess there's like this doji on the 1 minute. But the 5 minute was still like barely green. So I just wasn't sure, like, yeah, what kind of momentum is he looking for? Kind of curious. Yeah, it's kind of what it sounds like, because he was saying like around here, like, oh yeah, now we sell. But yeah, in here he was like buy, 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 and it worked out well. I mean, can't argue with that. But I'm curious because if he was like seeing the momentum shift in here, did he take a loss? Or did he take a loss like right here when he saw this green candle come up? Like, I don't know. Yo, what is your indicator? I got a couple. You can see them all up here, I think. I just have some EMAs, the 9 and then the 21. And then a couple lines that I drew. Nothing too crazy. The boxes, though, I'm guessing that's what you're talking about. The red and green boxes, those are fair value gaps, and that's just a built-in indicator with NinjaTrader. At least on like the newer version. It's called fair value gap. I think the strategy would be more consistent than classic Momo because it can work in chop. Yeah, that's kind of what it seems like. Doesn't seem like a bad strategy. Maybe he is worried about like just like sharing it in like a space like this for some reason. I don't know. A lot of people kind of instill fear in the traders, like, oh, you have to gatekeep your strategy, otherwise it's not going to work anymore. Like, I don't know if you've ever heard stuff like that, because it's, you know, like the market makers or whatever, especially like on YouTube or like the internet. It's like as soon as someone finds your strategy and other people start to do it, then it's going to stop working. So I don't know if he kind of is thinking that, like he's like, oh, I can't tell them everything, but I know a lot of people in like the trading space have kind of adopted that belief. Yeah, if you had like, if to get enough retail traders to actually like make a strategy like not work, I feel like you need like so many. Like, I almost said a number, but I don't want to like be completely wrong. You'd probably need like tens of thousands, if not more, even hundreds of thousands. Just because the retail traders don't really do much compared to like the big traders, you know, the hedge funds, institutions, all those things. Like, you need like a lot of people. With enough money, you can invert strats to make money. That's true. With enough money, you can do just about just about anything. That's the goal. One day I have enough money that I can do just about anything. Not that I would do anything because I still have morals, but it'd be nice to have enough money for that. That's what I would think, yeah. Because the more people have orders, like
Order
here,
submitted.
for example, it should make the move, like once it hits here, it should make the breakout stronger if there's more orders.
Order canceled.
That is, unless obviously the market makers, big traders, whatever you want to call them, are trying to inverse it, in which case they kind of use that as liquidity to then, you know, move the market lower, however that works. But overcrowding in general should just add more volatility, add more strength to the move, is what I would kind of agree with. And that's why like strategies do work. Because if my strategy was like, oh, I'm a buy right
Order
here,
submitted.
and no one else is buying right there, the sellers are just going to go straight through my order. You know, it's going to do nothing. So in order for my strategy to work, someone else has to be doing it. Someone has to be like
Order canceled.
saying, oh yeah, we buy here. It can't just be me. If everyone bought at 3 p.m. Eastern every day Friday, the market would pump. I can't imagine it wouldn't. We should start uh we should start making a movement. I don't know, put it on like Reddit or Twitter or something. Let's get everyone to buy 3 p.m. Eastern Friday. And then we can all make money through the pump. That's true. People would panic sell unless like we gave them enough courage and faith to hold and not panic sell just because of one, you know, big hedge fund. Dang, bit choppy. You can't even use the RSI strat on this because it's not even getting past like the 45 or the 55. Oh, that's true. I forgot about the dark pool. Gotta love the manipulation right there. I did always kind of wonder like how that worked. Just because like I was in some cryptos, you know, some newer cryptos that were up and coming, which had potential, but didn't end up working out. And obviously, sometimes you see like a big pump or a big dump, and it's like, oh, like someone just like sold a lot of this crypto, and obviously moved the coin down like 10% or 20% because it was like a big thing. And you can even see like on the blockchain, be like, oh yeah, like, that was like $10 million worth of this coin or whatever. But anyways, it was interesting because it's like, so if I had like, yeah, like $10 million or more, and I'm trying to like take profit, like, how would that work? At least like obviously with like bigger coins and stuff, you got a lot more liquidity, and it's maybe a little bit different. But especially like a smaller one, like if your $10 million is like 50%, or let's say like 20%. If it's like 20% of uh all the coin out there, whatever. If you sold at the top, how would every order get the best price, or would it kind of like, because some of the orders have to be kind of within that like 10 to 5% like as it moves the market down, unless you do get like the top price for all 10 million of your dollars. Anyways, that part's a little, like, it was a little confusing. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, no, like smart trader would dump all their shares at the same time because that would probably cause panic and different things. Unless that is kind of what they wanted, because they wanted it to like they dumped the price down like kind of like this candle here. Like they dumped the price here, and then everyone panic sells to here, and then they buy down here and get back in or whatever. But no, yeah, if you like sold all your shares at one time, like it would move the market like this. But yeah, I'm just like, it's like, where would all your orders get filled, you know? Because it's not like you can get all your $10 million at, you know, 25,655, for example. Because some of these orders in between have to get filled. Oh, here's that dump now. Catching up to ES a little bit. Exactly. Yeah. If they wanted to dump it, they would just sell and then get the better entry when it goes lower. Kind of like right here. It's like they dump the initial dump, and then the panic people, you know, they all start dumping, and then you get a really cheap price, get the move back up, make more money, dump it again, whatever. Blackberry thing for the follow. What indicators do you use? 921 EMA, and then fair value gap indicator. All of it's native to NinjaTrader. But yeah, I was thinking about that story of the person who bought like 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin. And 10,000 Bitcoin at the time was worth like what, 20 bucks, 10 bucks? But obviously now it's worth like $1 billion. Kind of cool. But like if that guy just like somehow forgot about his Bitcoin and it just did its thing, and he's like, oh yeah, I got some Bitcoin. Turns out to be like $1 billion. Like, obviously, if you were to sell that all at once, like that would have to dump Bitcoin by like a decent amount. I guess the market cap is a lot. Yeah, the market cap's like 2 trillion. So maybe a billion wouldn't do that much. And there's like 19, almost 20 million Bitcoin, so 10,000 wouldn't do a ton. But it would drop the market a little bit. Maybe not enough to like manipulate it. But yeah, that probably would be one of those things where it's like $1 billion. Like you'd probably want to just take like a couple million a month, maybe. You know, take your time. But again, with the market cap of 2 trillion and volume of 56, is that billion? 56 billion volume? 24-hour volume? Never mind. You could probably take out your billion and be fine. That's why you invest. You're supposed to set forget. Exactly. Like that's literally, it's a hard thing to do. But for anyone who might have done that, I mean, yeah, if they had 10,000, even 5,000 Bitcoin and just like left it under the rug in like their little ledger wallet or whatever they had back then, like the physical one, if they just like left that in their closet or something, and then they're like, oh yeah, I have some Bitcoin, they'd be milking in cash right now. 500 million $1 billion. That'd be crazy. So yeah, that is some deep trading stuff right there. But it is interesting. Interesting stuff. I forgot to move this down. I didn't see how low it got, but I'll just assume it was like there somewhere. Anyone buying? See that's where, cause sometimes I understand where he's coming from, but like we see like a little bit of a move up, like a little pullback, and he's talking about like who else is buying as if like it's obvious. And it's not obvious to me, but I definitely am curious like what he's looking for because I'm not opposed to what he's talking about. High level, you're supposed to use your long terms as credits. Oh yeah, high level, you can use your investment as credit and its depreciation covers your interest. Yeah, that's like one of the cool things about crypto that I've seen recently specifically is you can like, I'm trying to think of like the term. Just like leverage maybe, or like some other term I can't remember, but yeah, you can take out like a loan against your Bitcoin, and then yeah, you can basically like pay off the loan with your appreciation from Bitcoin, or obviously if you take out the loan of your Bitcoin and bought like apartments or some other sort of like kind of investments that brings in some cash flow every month, then use that to pay off the APR, but then you still have your Bitcoin and you haven't sold it, and it still appreciates as price goes up. Margin might have been one of the words I was looking for. But yeah, cool stuff. That's how Musk and Zuck use their equity in their companies to pull liquidity. Yeah, you can take margin loan on stocks. To its 50%. Pretty cool stuff. Now, yeah, once I have loads of money, I'm definitely going to be looking into some of that stuff. 'Cause yeah, something like Bitcoin. Not gonna lie, if I had 10,000 Bitcoin, I probably would just sell it, or do like just sell parts of it kind of every month, bring in a couple million. Just because that's a lot of money. Like I don't need more money than that. I can use that money for like other businesses or like investments that bring in like steady cash flow. Because like a billion would last me, well, it's more than enough for my lifetime and future lifetimes. So with a billion, I'd probably keep it pretty simple. And I just sell it. But if I just had like a good investment, like 100K, a couple 100K, maybe even a couple million, I wouldn't want to like just sell my Bitcoin in case Bitcoin does go to like 200K and it keeps going up because it's a good investment still, in my opinion, for now. So it would be really nice to take out like that loan against it and then keep my Bitcoin so I don't have to sell it because it's a valuable asset. Yeah, that's really cool with like stocks too. Above 2K, you can take 1K cash loan on your portfolio. So 500K portfolio, you can pull out 250K and still be invested. Yeah, that's awesome because you can take out 250K and buy like at least like half of a house or like a good portion of it, especially like a down payment. And then yeah, just use like the depreciation over the year to like pay for your interest. Never sell long terms ever, doesn't make sense. I do agree with that. Normally. Again, I'm only saying otherwise if like you want to kind of like again with like if I had 10,000 Bitcoin, I guess technically like it's like I have no reason to sell all of it because I could just leave it there and just take out money as I need it or take out loans like you said. So technically that I definitely agree with that strategy. But also like $1 billion is $1 billion. So I wouldn't really need to invest that anywhere else. I could just have that and be good. And naturally, I probably would buy like other stuff that would also make me more money. But also, yeah, it probably wouldn't hurt just to keep 500 million just in Bitcoin or more. Obviously, you can sell small pieces. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, I definitely agree with your strategy. Definitely don't want to sell the long terms because the whole goal is keep it long term. Because that would be the tough position is if you did get Bitcoin, let's say you had your 10,000 Bitcoin back when it was like 20, 30 bucks or whatever. Bitcoin goes up to like $5 and all of a sudden you have what, $50,000? That's pretty good, especially off of, your initial investment. And a lot of people would be saying like, dang, I'm gonna cash out like 10K, 20K, or maybe even all of it because 50K is awesome. But you'd hate to miss out on the, hundreds of millions of dollars. If that's like realistic at all. But obviously it wouldn't hurt to take out a couple thousand here and there as it grows. What's up, brother? Welcome back, Brandon. The other Brandon is not here, I don't think. Unless he's on the YouTube. But I can't see who's on the YouTube. But we got one of the Brandons, at least. It's facts. Imagine it took the credit off the position. You had the money and the appreciation. Kinda nice, kinda nice. What are we looking for today? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know anymore. Kinda stopped moving. Had this little chop. We did have a little pushback to the lows. Then we came back up, so we have been going short, and that's what we've been kind of keeping an eye on. We had this little reversal pullback, and then we came back short. But we're not doing too much. Like, 'cause typically I do try to trade with the momentum and the trend, and we just haven't really been getting any good setups for that. But if we do pull back to the zone, could be a nice 15-minute EMA trade. But we definitely seem to be slowing down a bit. Might be a lunchtime chop coming up soon. I did make some trades though, just like 2. Let me see. I took one retest off this level. I forgot what it was. I have to check since I don't like label that much. Draw them. Yesterday's what was that? Yesterday's high. Yeah, so yesterday's high closed below. Little retest. We kind of just chopped around for a bit though. It was a little bit ugly. Like this green candle was. I literally went down a little bit and then it would just like sit there for like 30 seconds going like this. Eventually I just took the break even because it was not going anywhere. It also almost stopped me out up here, I think. Anyways, it did go down eventually, but just not a lot of strength, so I took the break even. And then we took this bear flag here for a nice 250. And since then we have not gotten any good setups. Just a little bit of chop and then some kind of big moves or medium moves up and down. Most people don't know what to do with cash. Wait, let me read that again. Oh yeah, most people don't know what do you do with cash to be sent in positions. Exactly. Well, because that'd be my thing. Like if I did just like wake up and it's like, oh, I have a $1 million or like something like that. It's like, okay, like what do I do with that? I probably would be, asking some people that I trust, smart people, like, hey, I woke up and have $1 million or something. Now what? Because again, $1 billion, that's enough that you don't really have to think too much about it, just because it's $1 billion. Because it's not like I'm going to spend, I don't know, maybe my lifestyle will change, but I don't think I'd be spending like a ton of money. Just like knowing myself. I'd buy some nice houses and cars, but that's about it. Anyways, like I'm not going to be spending 10 million or 100 million dollars in my life. Well, 10 million maybe, but like I'm not going to be spending 100 million dollars in my lifetime. So with that example, it's like I just like keep 100 million to myself. Let the 900 continue to grow in Bitcoin or some, appreciation. But even if I didn't, so like just as like the devil's advocate, that's still 900 million for my generations to come, or more. Maybe a little bit less. But it's like, unless I spend money on other things that are gonna make me more money, like apartments, housing, that kind of thing, or businesses. Because I could end up spending tens of millions or hundreds of millions on those things, but those would bring me more money. So like, it's still kind of an investment of sorts. But assuming I'm just buying things that like are gonna make me happy, like fun things that don't make me money, like some fancy cars and like a nice house, maybe like a vacation home. Which again, even those technically could be considered an asset that don't lose value. But that's true, assuming inflation keeps up the way that it is. An AI-powered Uber Eats startup. Oh, startup. That's like a business. But I thought you were just talking about like the Uber Eats. Like I was like, well, if inflation keeps up the way that it is, my great-grandchild might be spending that much on Uber Eats. But no, yeah, like a startup thing. Now you definitely could be spending, yeah, like tens, hundreds of millions on like some big business stuff like that. But no, yeah, there isn't really a reason to like sell. Again, like I could sell like my 100 million and just have that like on hand ready to use, but also and keep the 900 in there growing, appreciating. But also, like you said, there's so many options out there with like the credit and different things. But yeah, devil's advocate, when you have that much money, you almost don't need to be super smart with it. At least like as the first generation. And yeah, as the second or third, it's like, okay, I have $100 million left. What do I do with that to like make more money? And that would be kind of on them. Like if they're stupid, they'll probably just like blow the 100 million and buy, they'll live their rich life and then they'll run out of money or their kid will run out of money. But if they're smart, they'll say, okay, I have $100 million. I'm going to build a business or I'm going to invest this and then I'm going to make more money for my future generations. But my 1 billion would cover a lot. That's to play devil's advocate, but I definitely don't agree with it or don't disagree with anything you said about just like being smart with your money. Because yeah, like I said, if I only had 1 million or even 10, I would definitely be doing like everything in my power to like make more money and keep that money growing and beating inflation, that kind of stuff. Right. The ideal goal would be to set up the cash flow just to kind of come in. And that's where like, yeah, like real estate, because again, real estate, you could argue right now it's not the best investment just because of the market and like that's kind of due for like a setback. But in general, something like real estate or some other business that just has like a constant monthly cash flow, that's always been kind of my goal. Even with like trading, it's like trading is great, bringing the money and everything, but the goal would be to invest that somewhere else later. Because like I can scale up my trading only so much, but to have just like cash flow is like the main goal. And even like housing's maybe not the best or like the most flashy ROI, but even if it costs me like 400K to get $2,000 a month forever, that's still $2,000 a month. And if you get enough of that, eventually you're making hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars a month in just like cash flow. And even with like $1 billion, that's where like if I could spend that, like you spend like that $1 billion. I'm not sure what the numbers would actually be, but if you invested like a majority of that into some sort of like skyscraper, or I'm not sure how much one of those would cost, but some sort of good real estate opportunity that brings in cash flow with like apartments and like rooms and rentals, nightly rentals, that kind of stuff. I mean, you'd be making tens. Oh, it did. I was just finishing my thought. Uh, that's where irrevocable family trust comes in. Exactly. But no, yeah, I was just kind of like brainstorming like the whole like, okay, like I don't know what the numbers would be. I might have to ask like chat, see what its math would be on it. But yeah, like $1 billion invested into like a really good like real estate project. Again, like a big building with lots of rooms, maybe even like office rooms to like rent. I mean, it may not be the best ROI compared to some things, or even like a certain businesses that could bring in more money. But to just have like that cash flow coming in, and all you have to do is like pay people to like manage it. I mean, you're bringing in like, I mean, again, don't know the numbers, but you could probably bring in like tens of millions of dollars a month, like with your $1 billion, maybe even more. I will be right back though. Wait, that's the wrong thing. Yeah, there we go. Alright, sorry about that. Let's see, we haven't really gone anywhere. Looks like we did continue a bit lower here. Still not really much entries or opportunity. Definitely slowing down a little bit now that we're getting closer and closer to lunchtime. Typically we will start chopping just a little bit around this time, 11 a.m. Eastern. But sometimes it will go until like 12. Or we'll get some decent price action until 12, but it looks like we are kind of slowing down just a little bit. We'll see if we get anything here in the next little bit. We still got like probably 30, 40 minutes before it gets too choppy. Yeah, so far it seems like we're just kind of following this downtrend here. So we'll see if we break this. But until then, I'll probably just keep going down slowly, I imagine. Hope so, short at the top. Ooh, nice. Not sure what kind of top you're talking about, but yeah, we're going quite lower. As I say that though, we are breaking this little trend line. Not for sure yet, but it is making a little push. Okay, we rejected back. We're good for now. We just need to get a good entry. I want to get like one more trade in. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't want to force anything too much either. If we do pull back enough, we might get a decent test off the 15-minute EMA here, potentially. That's what we could be looking for. Man, it's moving slow though. I was like looking at this just to kind of see, keep an eye on the 15-minute, but it's just not going anywhere. At least this you can kind of, the 1-minute chart, kind of see what's actually happening. But even then, it's not really making any progress there. The market might be kind of dead for the most part. There could definitely still be some trades that are made, but it might be a little rough. They might have to play some games. This price action's rough. Normally I play some Battlefield, but it's been crashing the stream recently. I might try some Fortnite. I know there's that new Simpsons season going on. This could be interesting. Kind of fun maybe. If it's updated, but I don't know if it is. But I'll check. Or we'll just like see how long it takes. Rosita, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, it might take a sec to update. So maybe I will just have to do some Battlefield. And I hope it doesn't crash. Here's a little move up. Can you tell me about funded ticks? Yes. Funding ticks. Not to like correct you, but that is what it is called. But let me just pull up their website so I can make sure I don't say anything false. But I do know most of it right now. But they've been around for about a year, and they actually originated from a different prop firm for Forex called Funding Pips. So I guess they have some sort of legacy over there. They paid out like hundreds of millions of dollars or something like that. Is what they claim, 120 plus million in rewards, and they're continuing that into futures. And so far, I've had no issues with them. They have good rules, good platforms. It's on Tradeovate, so you can use like TradingView, NinjaTrader, all the whatever you want basically. And they have some of the best rules right now and prices, which is kind of like why I would pick them over another firm. Just as like an example, the $50,000 account is normally $138 a month, but as a new user, you get 35% off your first purchase, which is pretty nice. 35% off, 138 is $48 off, so that would be like $90. So basically you pay $90 to get a $50,000 account, and you don't have to pay any activation fees. So those are like the main things that I look for, or that I like. No activation fee. The drawdown is end of day, if you're familiar with that is. Okay, so yeah, the challenges. So I'll get into that right now. So that's prices, right? You're paying like 90 bucks, or there's a cheaper option, which is really nice. The problem with this one is you just have like a weekly reward cap, but that's still like not that big of a deal. You still like $1,000, which is fine. But basically you got 25k, 50k, 100k. Those are all the options. And 50k is the most popular. That's the one where you have like two options with like the reward cap between $1,000 and $5,000. But it's kind of nice that they give you that option, because the one that's $1,000 reward cap every week is only $85 a month normally, but with the 35% off, it's like $55. So $55 for the challenge, and once you pass the challenge, there's no activation fee, so you're just instantly funded for no money. So $55 all in is like all that you pay. And that's like the nicest part about it. And then the rules are, the profit target is 2,500, which is better than pretty much every other firm right now. And then the drawdown is $2,000, end of day, which is nice. Minimum trading days, 3. So you just need to trade 3 days to get funded. Consistency 40%. So you just can't make more than 40% in one day. But if you're trying to pass in like 3 days, or with a minimum of 3 days, you don't really want to make more than 1,000, or you don't need to make more than 1,000 anyways, which 40% of 2,500 is $1,000. So yeah, no activation fee, great challenge, great rules, great prices. And then the master accounts, once you're funded, also very solid. There's the same drawdown, $2,000, no consistency, and that's it. Like, that's pretty much all that there is. Oh, shoot, we're in the zone. I guess if you kept buying the dip, he might have gone wrecked a little bit because we kept going down. Possibly. We're going up now, though. Kind of heavily, too. It's a good thing I didn't sell off like this zone reaction. But we are right here at the EMA. Let's see how we kind of react. Might take it. We'll see. Yeah, I definitely want to be surprised with a bit of chop. We haven't blown through the EMA yet, technically. That actually is like kind of a nice reaction off of it. So normally I would probably, like, this would be the trade that I take. And then I'd have like my $46 and then like $60 something, I can't remember. 75% of 51. That's like the ATR. So 38. It's like 7. Let's do like 75 as the profit target. I think that kind of makes sense. We could be chopping though, but this is kind of where I'd make that 15-minute trade. But yeah, the Momo kind of cancels. And you might be looking at, I'm guessing, well, no, ES is kind of rejecting off the EMA as well. Oh, there's a big little push down. I was gonna say, like, I don't quite see where the momentum cancels because we didn't get like up through the EMA. We did kind of go through the zone pretty well. Well, we went and touched the EMA, reacted off of it nicely. I probably would go break even there normally, so I'll just do that. Maybe it does chop, and maybe that's where this wouldn't be a winning trade. But we were up like 20 points. It's kind of nice. Ignoring current candle, look at the last 3. So these 3. I mean, we're talking about like this one, how it cancels out the momentum. I can see like what you're saying, but also like, isn't this just like a pullback? I'm not like disagreeing. I'm just questioning. But so far, not the cleanest for sure. It did have like a nice little move down, but now it's kind of just chilling in the middle. Go to the 1 minute, we'll probably be able to get a better idea how it lagged. I mean, yeah, we had that nice red candle down. We're just holding up the 9 EMA on the 1 minute. Okay, I pulled up the results in chop. Especially around this time of day, it definitely could be the case. But this red candle was nice, even if it was kind of short-lived. Not the worst move, just might not go hit the target. But that's where the break-even stop comes in, played safe. Potentially. Actually, speaking of, this is kind of a...
Order submitted. Stop failed.
Okay, I stopped on the other one. I was gonna wait for like a little pullback just to get like a better entry, but maybe I should have just marked it in. Because this is a pretty
Order
good
canceled.
bull flag here. On the 1 minute. Looks like we would have hit my profit target, so we kind of missed it. Yeah, I should have switched over to the 1 minute and paid attention to that. But we're kind of keeping an eye on this other trade. Yeah, great bull flag. Should have just marked it in, but I was like, oh, if we get that little pullback, that'll be like a better entry.
Order canceled.
But now the move is already done. But that is the move that you want to make right here. Pull back to the 90 EMA, break the previous candle, and then get a nice little move up. So yeah, a little unfortunate there. That's just user error. Took 1,500 back for the market. Nicely done. Nicely done. Still losing is not ideal. However, losing less is better than losing more. Reversal? Potentially. Looks like we are about to take out this low on the 1 minute, which could be a pretty good reversal. Technically. It's definitely still holding up the 15-minute EMA here. So I definitely would be bearish overall still. But yeah, it definitely wasn't the cleanest with the momentum. But yeah, definitely my setup here. I was just over here on the 15-minute and kind of, again, should have marketed in like right here. Instead, I was like, oh, I'll put my order here for a little bit of a pullback.
Order canceled.
Because the wick was like right here too, and I was like, oh, get down, get that perfect entry. But of course, it just went without me as soon as I wanted to get in. That's how it goes, though. Alright, here's a little move down. So it could be making our way downtown. Maybe look for a bear flag, I don't know. Or, I mean, yeah, this is still kind of the move here. You just kind of had to hold through this right here. Not the cleanest momentum, but still holding up nicely. Yeah, it is a bit choppy time, so we gotta be careful of that. Because this looks like it could be some sort of reversal or something, right? We had a decent little play of this bull flag. But we also could just make like a newfound range from like here to here, and we could kind of chop between this. Yeah, it's like between two gaps. Forgot to say ignore first entry if it's chop. Oh yeah, I remember that from yesterday. Yesterday that was good. And if we do start chopping, that's a great idea. I definitely wouldn't have considered this chop though, especially after this clean move up. But could have been smart to wait, but if you did wait, you would have missed the move. Which happens even if it is a bad setup sometimes. The move still works. Talking about for the short. Yeah. Yeah, no, if we get like a short bear flag, or yeah, if you're saying like for the 15-minute, maybe ignore the first one, and then maybe wait for like that second kind of pull back kind of off the EMA once we got back up, and then reject it again, maybe go short again down here somewhere, and then now you would have been chilling in profit. Hypothetically. I think my original entry was like in here somewhere. So yeah, if we kind of waited and then we waited for it to come back down again, got short. Oops. Got short here. I mean, then we'd be up like from 69. Wait, that's a way wrong line. 84 down to 57. We go up like 30 points. Okay, I see that. Blue line theory returns. That's what I was kind of thinking. But also, we're kind of holding the bottom of the blue line and we're making more lows. So we might be continuing the short lower off the 15-minute EMA. We might even go all the way to the lows. We'll see. We might have a little momentum after all. My TikTok is made glitchy. Oh boy. Yeah, hate to see it or hear it or something. Yeah, that. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't mind a bear flag, but it might be smart to kind of wait for a little confirmation that we're not going to chop. That was a nice 5-minute close though, below the 90 MA. That was good for the bears. Yeah, we got someone in here for you to talk to. No, actually, you spelled it right the first time, funnily enough. Oh, wait, no. There's two Brandons. That's right. The second Brandon is here. I saw the first one, I was like, with like EN at the end. I was like, you spelled it right the first time, but then you changed it to ON. And then the other one responded. That's funny. Brandons are back. Alright, we're still going lower. No bear flag, no setups yet. Nice little dump though. I mean, yeah. Nice move there. Just got chopped up a little bit. Well, just off this one move. It held the EMA. And we took the break even. Well, some people may have just held that. and they would be chilling right now. But I do like to remove risk as soon as I can, which typically does well for me. But sometimes you do miss the move. Yeah, seller's looking pretty good now. ES also making its way down. Yeah, you do want to be careful after 11 a.m. Eastern, or especially 12. I think 12 to 1 Eastern is probably like the most choppy, but then at like 1, that's when it kind of picks back up a little bit and it starts getting better for like the afternoon. Man, these two candles were nice. I like that. Looks like we are going to probably take it the lows out here. Yeah, definitely best to avoid the chop if possible, or like just know how to trade it. We are getting below the 30 on the RSI, assuming we are kind of in a chop. This could be the spot to kind of to buy, but also it looks like it is kind of carrying out the bearish momentum here just a little bit. So I'm not sure how I would classify that. Because yeah, it looks like we might just keep going down, potentially. A little bounce here. In basketball terms, it's low-key 3-point Hesse pull. Dang, I wish I was more familiar with basketball terminology. Unfortunately, I'm not. But I think it still makes like sense. Like you said, like the more advanced, avoid the initial chop, but still trade the momentum. I could build out decent bear flag here. It does have another one of these candles I talked about with like very little wick on the bottom. Not the most ideal. But it could still play out kind of nicely. Score, score, chook, chook, score. Okay, okay. Yeah, you definitely wanna dodge those chops. Score a couple points. Dodge the chop. Juke it out. Is this the 1 minute? It is, in fact, the 1 minute. This is the 15 minute. It looks like we could be making our way back up here. It's kind of might be the chop. Someone can juke forever before they score. Facts. Raiden, thank you for the follow. So you mean to say, like, how is the 1 hour?
Order filled.
Alright, here's the bear flag. We're gonna try it. Break even. Nice little push. Hopefully we push all the way, but I guess stopped at break even. That's like right there.
Stop filled.
Dang, you hate to see it, chat. What was that, like 2 points away? 2 points away from the target. Jeez. What's your ATM? 12.5 points, up and down. Just a nice 1-to-1 risk reward. I'd say the 1 hour is pretty good if that's what you meant by that earlier. Kind of hit some highs and we're making our way lower. And we're almost on our way to take out yesterday's low, which would be good for the shorts. I actually still could. I kind of almost want to try this again, but I don't know if I trust the chop since we kind of failed to make the move earlier. But we kind of made it there. Stop loss, also 12.5 points. That's kind of what I meant by up and down. Stop loss 12.5, profit target 12.5. Yeah, sorry. Kind of explained it a little bit quickly there. Also, the trade was kind of quick too. It looks like we still wouldn't have quite hit my profit target because I think I was down at like, where was it? 13.75. So my target would have been like right here. So I would have missed it again and then gone back to like break even. What did I take you out there? Oh, because I moved my stop to break even. You can see like the $5 here. That's like technically $5 of profit. And even, like I was just saying, my profit target was 12.5 points from here, which was like 13.75 or maybe 14, which if we zoom in wasn't actually hit. You can see the wick is still above it, and then it would have gone all the way back up here. So that would have been another break even, potentially. Or we'll see, this might end up being like a loss. Looks like we want to kind of pump up now. Alpha, thank you for the follow. Yeah, so it's a good break even. I could have trailed and made a little profit there, like $100 maybe. But yeah, just kind of made a little progress and couldn't quite make the full move. Just follow me on YouTube as well. Let's go. Thank you. Yeah, looks like this would have definitely been a loss if we didn't take the break even or if we didn't trail my stop a little bit. Yeah, YouTube's definitely like technically the better place for like the live stream, but TikTok just gets more like viewers for now. And it's a good way to just kind of I forgot what I was gonna say. But TikTok is great. I have 2 lines in the water for the stream. One mini contract scalps. Yes, for the most part. I take other trades too, but this trade was a 1 mini contract, 12.5 point scalp. I mean, the idea is you get in here and you just get that little push down to like here, which we almost got. We got really close. But now we're kind of switching to a little bit of bullish price action. Could be definitely a good sign of the chop as well. Yeah, I'd also kind of assume kind of end of momentum. Yeah, yesterday's lows, I'll mark it on the chart, 78.5. So that's yesterday's low right there. We almost hit it. We definitely could flip long, especially if we do take this out. But also we could just kind of chop around because the momentum might be kind of dead for today. Is that an indicator on NinjaTrader? Yes. Depends on what you're referring to, because if it's obviously these lines I just drew. If it's the fair value gaps, that's NinjaTrader, yes. Same with the EMAs, red and green zones. Yes, that's just fair value gaps. You can see like right here at the top. I believe you can see that. Yeah, the little text up here says fair value gap NQ. That's what that indicator is, and it's you might have to update. I know a lot of people they keep asking me about that. And I think they like haven't updated NinjaTrader to like the newest version, but the newest version you can like look it up, and this is like default indicator for the newest version, so kind of nice. If you've been watching, well, I assume you're newer, but because I think you followed me today. But yeah, if you follow my streams and watch them, you see I don't typically take trades based off of the fair value gaps. Like anyone who's been here before can agree to that. But I do keep an eye on them. Because obviously you can see like in this instance, like we do kind of bounce it, and like they can make for some good reversal trades. And one of my strategies I was taking them on one of the last accounts I got funded on. But I do kind of stick to some of the stuff more typically, especially like on stream. Do you trade every day? Do you go live every day? I can't say I haven't missed a day here and there, but like typically I do go live every day, yes. Yeah, and Tech is here. Every time. He's an OG. Speaking of OGs, K-Dubs hasn't been here in a minute. I don't know if he got on today. I haven't seen him. He used to get on every day too. But he also has like track practice sometimes in the mornings. Or maybe he's just lurking and I haven't noticed him. Yeah, could start chopping around here in this area. I wouldn't be too surprised if it did. we'll definitely. We'll see what happens. It was nice. We did pick up a little bit of momentum since we were kind of. I mean, I almost ended this stream like here when we just like weren't going anywhere. But then we had this nice move up. The bullfly that kind of worked out, and then this pull back down. But now it looks like we're slowing down again. I'm back here when I have to do something at work. That is the worst. That's the worst. But the fact that you can like trade and watch the stream while you're at work is also pretty nice. Even if you do have to like take a little break. Your strategy, market structure. I do look at market structure to help my bias. So I guess you could say yes. I guess technically you could say like a bear flag or bull flag is market structure. But also I'd probably consider it more like momentum. Well, obviously the momentum is kind of based off market structure a little bit, so yeah, typically I'll try and look for trades like this one, where we have a nice clean momentum to the upside. Then we kind of pull back a little bit, and the wicks kind of follow a trend like this, kind of making a flag. I usually don't draw the full flag, but obviously it's something like this. And then once it breaks the previous high of the candle of the flag or the wick, then we can usually get a little breakout. So that's one of the scalps I've been taking pretty consistently. And then also, I'll take like retest off of like key levels, like these lines that I drew. Like I took one up here, kind of went down here and went back and tried to get a bounce off of this level, which we did get. It just chopped around and stopped me at break even before it went down. So it's just a little choppy with the price action. But yeah, volume is definitely important too. We definitely don't want to be trading when there's no volume. And I kind of keep track of that a little bit with like just the ATR down here, the average true range. That's fine. I just realized you guys can even see like the ATR. Not that you like need to, but I fixed it. So ATR. That's just like a little bit of volatility that you can see. Helps gauge the market a little bit. Right now it's at 18, which is actually still above average for NASDAQ. How do you automate stop at break even? Trying to learn NinjaTrader. So I don't know if I can. I might have to like change some settings to like let it show on stream. Just because there's like stuff on the side that you guys can't see. But basically, you set up like in your ATM strategy, which it sounds like you're familiar with. ATM, I put 15 points, but it should move to break even. Now let me like look at that's just the settings so I can see like a reminder of what it looks like. So yeah, basically you have your target and your like stop loss and profit. That's the main part. If you click on more, let's see. Basically, there's a couple options when you click more. There's like reverse at stop, reverse at target, target chase, stop limit for stop loss, MIT for profit, chase if touched. So there's a couple of different strategies like that. There's definitely a way to go break even. It's been a while since I've messed with this. So like I'm trying to remember which one of these settings actually does that. So there should be like a break-even option. I know one of them I did have. Oh, it's in the, okay. So you don't click more. You click the stop strategy on the right, and then you do like custom, or you can like, if you already have one, and then you like edit it, and then you can see auto break even. So like, I don't actually use mine. I have a fancy indicator that costs some money. That's why I didn't mention it earlier, because it's not built into NinjaTrader. It costs like $100. But I have a button I can click that just moves it to break even, which I'll usually do. But even without that, if you look at the stop strategy parameters, there's an auto break even, and I have mine like profit trigger, for example, it's set to like 50 ticks, 12.5 points, and I have +2, so basically it just moves it 2 ticks above break even. And it does that once it hits the trigger of 50 points, if that makes sense. Also, like if you just Google, like on YouTube, I don't have a video about it yet. Maybe it's something I should do just so it's out there. People can find that info easier. But it shouldn't be too hard on YouTube to find like NinjaTrader, how to go like automatic break even on NinjaTrader. There should be plenty of videos explaining it. If that helps at all. It could be useful with props. They keep getting me. Definitely could be useful with props, the automatic break even. Also, another thing that'd be useful is like, yeah, like the trailing, because they do have like the automatic trailing as well. So you can have it like trail your profit by like 5 points, 10 points, whatever you want it to be. Which with a lot of prop firms, like Funny Ticks is the one that I've been using. They don't have, they have end of day drawdown. So you don't have to worry about like your drawdown getting messed up a lot. But it is still nice to lock in profits, obviously. But if you're trading like Apex, they have the intraday trailing drawdown, which basically moves up with unrealized gains, which is kind of annoying. And with something like that, you definitely want to trail your stop so you can like lock in profits and make sure your drawdown doesn't go down, if that makes sense. But yeah, if you have end of day drawdown, it's not as big of a concern, I would say. I was going to say we might be making our way up slowly, but this red candle kind of undid that theory. With 35%. If you're talking about like the discount, Funny Ticks 35% off. It's out. Yeah, they have 35% off right now for new people. If it's your first time buying from them, it's 35% off. If you have already done that, only 20% off, but still pretty good. I still buy their accounts even when it's 20% off, because you can still get like a 50k account for like $60, and there's no activation fee and end of day drawdown. So I'd say pretty nice. How much does it cost? So with the 35% off, yeah, no activation fee when you get funded. So that's like the all-in price. Is with the 35% off, it's like $55 for the cheapest 50k account. There are some options that are more expensive, like they do have like the straight to funded. They do have ones with like higher reward caps that cost a little bit more. But if you get like the cheapest one, that's a $50,000 account, it's $55, no activation fee. With the 35% off. But even with the 20% off, I think it's still like $60. So I definitely would say lowest cost of entry for someone like you or for anyone would be the $50,000 account with the $1,000 reward cap option, which brings it down to, again, $55 if you get the 35% off for your first time. But even with the 20% off, I think it's still like $60 or something like that. Maybe like $64. You can trade with minis, but obviously, yeah, maybe smart to trade with micros just to keep the size small. But you have a $2,000 drawdown, so however you want to trade that. Because I'm trading a mini, and this is the same account that I'm telling you about right now. I'm using it. I'm trading a mini, but I'm also only trading like a small size. So if I do the $1,000 weekly reward, I just can't take profit after that. No. The 1,000 weekly reward cap basically profit target is 3,000. No, it's actually 2,500, which is another reason why it's better than a lot of other firms right now. Because for the challenge, the profit target is only 2,500, and when you're funded, you only need to make $2,000 to basically get like the buffer, and then you can basically take payouts every 5 trading days. So that's a week, right? Because there's 5 trading days in a week. Every 5 trading days of $150 in profit, you can take a payout. But if you select the weekly reward cap of $1,000, your payout just can't be more than $1,000 at a time. But you can still take more payouts. Does that make sense? So basically, if you trade the 5 days and then you get a payout of $1,000, you just have to trade 5 more days before you can get $1,000 more of payouts. Or if you select the other option that's more expensive, your max is $5,000 per payout, which you're probably not even going to hit on a $50,000 account, unless you like save up and build up your account balance before taking a payout. But if you're trying to take like weekly payouts, you probably only need to take like $1,000 out at a time anyways. So yeah, hopefully that explains the weekly reward cap. But the $2,000 is trailing. It is trailing, but it does stay at 48,000. No, it stays at 50,000. If that makes sense. Basically, it's trailing, but it's end of day, so you don't have to worry about it trailing your unrealized gains. And then once you get to 52,000, your drawdown stops at 50,000. End of day after eval as well? Yes. Both end of day before and after eval, or during and after eval. And then once you get to the buffer of $2,000 in profit, it stops trailing. So if I make the accounts to 55,000, what is my loss I can get from that? No, yeah, you're chilling. I appreciate and encourage the questions for sure. So if you get your account balance to 55,000, you have $5,000 to lose, or it might be like 4,900 because it might go like $100 above the profit target, if that makes sense. Because basically they just want you to basically make a buffer, and then the drawdown, you can then increase the drawdown. Once you get $2,000 in profit, then the drawdown stops at break even. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions. I mean, that's what I'm here for. So far, I haven't had any problems with the firm. That obviously they're the ones I'm using, and good rules. Do you get commotion? I'm guessing you meant commission, and I get a small commission, yes, if you use my code. So it does help support the channel, and obviously incentivizes me to promote them. But obviously that's if you want to support me, or if you want to support someone else, you can find their code. But you guys get a discount and a propfirm account. I just get a small little kickback. So I do appreciate if you use my code, but definitely no pressure. But I really appreciate the support. Thank you. Yeah, great firm, great firm. If you have any more questions, definitely let me know, because there is a lot, and they do have an FAQ on their website, which you might be able to find all the questions or answers that you're looking for. But luckily, most prop firms are pretty similar, and I'm familiar with a lot of them, like Apex, Take Profit Trader. Eventually, I'm going to try and get codes for all of them. I'm just still like a small streamer, so we're working on it though. I did apply to be an affiliate with Apex and Take Profit Trader, but they shut me down. Dylan, how did you trade today? Pretty good. I'm up to 47. A little choppy today. We caught a break even earlier off a little retest. We did catch this bear flag off the EMAs for 250. And then this trade just barely, another bear flag. We were literally like 1 point away or 2 points away from my profit target before getting stopped out break even and going up. It's a little bit unfortunate. What about Tradeify? I traded with them earlier this year. I did apply. They just never responded to me. Nice, one loss, one win for me. I might reapply and just see like, hey, like I don't know if you guys ever got back to me. Because I do like Tradeify as well. They have like some of the best like straight to funded Lightning accounts. So I do like them as well. Does the code work on the 100K? It does. It works on all of them. What website? Fundingticks.com. I can't put the link in the TikTok because it'll take it away for some reason. But I'll just type it in like FundingTicks. You can see it on the screen as well, but I'll just pin that. Like fundingticks.com, that's their website. Or if you're on YouTube, it's the link in the description. The link in the description will take you there. Yeah, no, I like Tradeify. I'll definitely try and promote them in the future if I can. Again, I just need to build my channel and my stream so they say, oh, we do want this guy to promote us. Because Apex said I don't meet the minimum requirements. I was like, what are the minimum requirements? And they didn't even tell me. I was like, do I need like 100 subscribers? Do I need 1,000 followers? I don't even know. Johnny Zero, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Got a friend that promotes them. Seems pretty decent. TPT very comparable. Looks like. Yeah, they're all pretty solid, I would say. It just depends on what you're looking for. But I would say like TPT is the best if you want daily payouts. And they also don't have activation fees. But then Funny Ticks, it's still one of the cheapest right now as far as like the barrier for entry because of the $55 or $60 for the 50K accounts with no activation fee. So very competitive and very good. And the evaluation is only 2,500 profit target. I know that's what I'm saying. Like daily payouts is nice, lock in the money. But I'm also good with one big weekly payout. Bunch of Chinese girls follow me. Oh, that's why I got like almost 2,000. That's funny. I need to get the Chinese girls to follow me. Just kidding. I'd rather have actual traders follow me. But that is funny. Yeah, consistency rules can be tough. I like Take Profit Trader the best. That's all I trade. Nice, nice. Can you use TradingView on Funding Ticks? Yes, because you can connect it through Tradeovate, just like Take Profit Trader, if that's what you're talking about. But yeah, Take Profit Trader it's good. The only reason I stopped using them is because I blew my account up, and I think it was their fault because I had like glitch that I had on stream that some of you were here for, and I just have not bought a new account with them because I just have Funding Ticks right now, and they had like the 50% off, and I might get some more Take Profit Trader. Might give him a shot. Hey, well, use my code to get a nice discount. Helps support the channel. But also, if not, you're chilling. Take Profit Trader is also great. And I probably will get some more accounts with them in the future for those daily payouts. But I'll also keep funding ticks because I have no reason not to use funding ticks. Just because they have been good. And they also have like a really cool dashboard. Like you have to get an account to see it. Or maybe I don't know if I can really show it on stream too well because just like the way I have it set up. But you can see like all your stats for your trades, like all your trades, your performance, win rate for all your accounts and different things. You can see like they have like a calendar with all your trading days, wins, losses, everything. So super solid, super nice like setup. Just for like keeping track of like journaling and everything. Like right now I can see on this account that I'm trading right now I have a 76% win rate. Pretty nice. Could be better though. Anyways, pretty cool dashboard. Kind of like Tradeify. Tradeify also has like the dashboard. Yeah, the only problem with Take Profit Trader is they do have some tighter consistency rules, I think. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing. I can't even remember. Where do you get the win rate? It's on the Funding Ticks dashboard. For my accounts, so I can see the accounts I'm trading in. Like I can see all the profit, like I said, all the statistics. Some of my buddies struggled with the 5-day eval on TPT. Yeah, it's not the easiest. And then once you get funded, it's like the live intraday trailing drawdown, which is not everyone's favorite. Most people prefer end of day. Okay, so TPT is 50% during eval, none once funded. Yeah. So a little, not the best for like the eval technically. Well, also you just gotta take your time a little bit. But then once you're funded, there's no consistency rule. But there is the intraday trailing drawdown, which again, not the best, not everyone's favorite. But what can you do? Yeah, let me see. Might be able to pull it up on stream, possibly. A little tough just with like the way I have it set up though. Because it's all like vertical layout. I mean, I'll just have to make like a YouTube video just kind of going over funding ticks and showing everything. What are your favorite buy/sell signals? I don't use signals unless you're just talking about like kind of rough indicators, because like I've shown live on stream, like I'll trade bear flags, bull flags, or like support and resistance, momentum, that kind of stuff. So if you count those as signals, then I use those. But I don't have like indicators. Okay, things that happen that really catch your attention. Gotcha. Yeah, so for me that would be like I have these blue lines, and these are just like kind of key levels like Asia, London, New York session, highs and lows. Like I think this was yesterday's high, I believe. And this was like London something. Yeah, this was London low, and then yesterday's high for New York. And basically like when I see that, I basically will just kind of look at like, okay, what's it doing? So this, for example, I'll move the order so you can see a little bit better. but I see this red candle closed below it. So when we have like a nice close below a level like this, I'll kind of expect it to go back, retest it, and then bounce off of it, which we did do. I just caught break even because it was chopping around for a minute or two, but eventually it did make the move down to like here, or even like further down technically, but I just look for those little scalps. So that would be like something that grabs my attention, is like, okay, what are we doing here? Like I would have taken a short here or here. We just never got it because we went all the way down. And I didn't take it here just because like we changed structure to the upside, that kind of thing. Sometimes I'll take another retest once we go back above it, but I try and stick to mostly just like the first test of like when the market opens. Because like, yeah, I could have shorted here and it would have been great, but it would have not been great over here. Just as like an example. And then these trend lines I just drew. I don't trade with those typically. But yeah, we haven't really gotten too many of those signals today. But we did take a couple of the bear and bull flags, which that's where this one was. So we have a nice clean move down like this, and then we pull back, and we have like wicks and candles that kind of stay above and kind of form a little bit of a trend up. Consolidates, bounces off the 9 EMA, gets below a wick like that. That's usually when I'll take a short lower. So like, I'd say there is some signals or things that catch my attention. Especially like if we're kind of chopping, it's like, okay, I stay away from the chop. But also, it's definitely more kind of intuitive. Like I just keep an eye on what's going on and try and trade with the momentum of the trend a bit. Oh yes, so I was going to get to your question. What is the intraday drawdown for TBT? He explained it pretty well. But the difference, I think, for the question that I think you're trying to ask, basically end of day drawdown means that your profit isn't taken into account until the day is over. So once you're done trading for the day, like for example today I'm up $265. So my drawdown moves up $265, if that makes sense. So if my original account is $50,000, right, that means my drawdown is down at 48,000. So if I get down below 48,000, I blow the account. But if I then make, what was I saying? If I then make 200, we'll just say $200 so it's easier math. If we then make $200 in profit, at the end of the day, my drawdown will move up to 48,200. So now if I go below 48,200, I blow the account. Or like $1,000, or if I go up to $51,000, now my drawdown's at $49,000. So that's typical drawdown end of the day. But intraday trailing drawdown, which is how Take Profit Trader is after you get funded. Basically, if I'm in a trade, I'm just going to do a practice one just to help visualize. I'm going to put like hecka contracts on it too, just so like
Order filled.
you can see me make some profit, just or not profit. Probably not profit. But just as an example, I guess it'd be a better example if I was in profit. This is just like on a sim account. But basically, if I'm in this trade and the trade goes up here, and let's say like I'm up like $1,000, or obviously it's like, okay, I'm up like 300, I'm up, you know. Basically, if I'm up in this trade $1,000, even if I don't take profit, oh, it is. Don't worry. I'm just using this as a visualizer for my explanation of drawdown. That better be demo, bro. Yeah, for real though. 10 contracts. What are you talking about? This is the trade right here. But yeah, okay, now you can see it's like I'm up $500. But let's say it's up $500 and then it comes back down and I go like, I'm break even now, right?
Stop filled.
So I'm stopped at break even. So technically I'm not up any money for today, right? You could say I'm break even on the day. So at the end of the day, I didn't make any profit. But because I was up $500 in this trade at some point in the day, my drawdown then moves up 500 bucks, if that makes sense. So basically, it's like taxing unrealized gains. How could you go in long on a bearish bias? I just clicked the button for the demo account. That was just like for fun. Yeah, basically unrealized gains is intraday trailing drawdown. So that's where you gotta be careful, and where you gotta kind of like lock in some wins. Like you can't let a trade go up $1,000 in profit and then let it come back down to break even or maybe even like a loss. Because then if like, let's say it's $1,000 of risk and then you're trying to get $1,000 in reward. If you go to like $900 in profit and then it comes back down and stops you out for negative 1,000, not only did you lose $1,000, but you also lost $900 of drawdown, which is basically like on a $50,000 account, you basically blow your account. Ultimate Brad though, he has the best advice. If you never lose a trade, you'll never blow an account. Write that one down. That's important. I need to start doing that. I need to stop losing, man. Today's pretty chill though. Just take profits, LO. Exactly. That's why the goal is to take profits, like TechFlu said and Dylan. That's why it's called Take Profit Trader, is just you take profits, right? Live trailing drawdown, it's scary. Or for some people, because it's like, oh shoot, I'm up 500 bucks. And now it's like, okay, if I go break even, my drawdown moves up. But at the same time, I'm back. I had to leave for a minute. Welcome back. The rating guy, he might be gone. I'm still trying to answer his question, but he might have left, unless I'm just not seeing him in like the. Because usually just show me who's like in the stream. But anyways, intraday drawdown, it's scary. Some people, it's harder to trade. But at the same time, it does promote taking profit, which actually it's quite good for locking in profits and building accounts. Like I've said before, I had the best trading performance last year when I was trading with Apex and traded intraday trailing drawdown because I just locked in like my wins. I would trail, lock in wins, and I mean, yeah, I got like 6 payouts in like 2 months. I was just like rolling in the payouts. Like I had a whole month where I didn't even lose a single trade. Well, I lost some trades, like 1 or 2 here and there, but I just make it back. So I didn't have a single red day because I'd either be in profit or break even on the day. I'm getting this tattooed. You might have to. VK123, thank you for the follow. So yeah, intraday drawdown, not ideal, but I think it does help traders actually trade better. Just because they lock in profits. Are you on YouTube? I am. BangerTrades on YouTube. I'm live right now on YouTube and TikTok. So yeah, feel free to check me out there if you want to see more than just this vertical screen. I can only fit so much in here. I got a little bit more on YouTube. I still need to optimize it a little bit, but anyone want to buy? Sounds like you always want to buy, but also sounds like you got kind of wrecked today. Bullish mark now? Possibly. It looks like it wants to kind of make its way. Keep going up. Potentially. I mean, yeah, we're kind of not really holding below the EMA. I forgot to move this lower. It's probably just like here somewhere. Oh, we got his money back. 400 in profit. Nice. Waiting for it to break a structure. I mean, yeah, this is pretty solid, I'd say. Just a question of whether it kind of continues this or if it kind of runs back down to the lows. Also, it's almost 11 o'clock. I probably should go eat some lunch, go eat some videos. Well, I've been vibing. It's been a good stream. Appreciate all you guys hanging out. sometimes it's hard. I get like distracted. I don't want to like I like forget what time it is. So that's like a good thing. But I do have other stuff I need to go do today. And probably not gonna get too much more trading in today just with I mean it's been a little choppy. But actually that might be changing now. Could be sometimes around this time it actually does get a little bit better. So if you're gonna keep trading, good luck. If not, hope have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching the stream. Thanks for hanging out. If you're new, definitely give me a follow. If you want to see me again, I'll be live tomorrow. What ate you time I on YouTube? I'm gonna guess you're asking what time are you on YouTube or what time are you live on YouTube? Just right at the market open. Sometimes I'm a little late, but sometimes a little early. But right at 9:30 a.m. Eastern or 7:30 a.m. my time. I'll just put that in the chat. 9:30 a.m. Eastern. That's when the New York market opens for like trading and stuff. So I'm usually live around then. I don't see you live on YouTube. Well, I am, and I think I still have 2 or 3 viewers. It's not a lot, but a couple. Did you find my channel, BangerTrades? Because I am currently live. And I know that because I'm watching it on my laptop. So you should be able to find it. Don't know why not. But also would explain why I only have a couple of viewers if people aren't able to find my stream. Kind of annoying. Freaking YouTube. That's why TikTok is sometimes better. But also, I think YouTube's better like long term for like bigger channels. But for now, TikTok's pretty cool. Yeah, so if you go to my YouTube channel, BangerTrades, just on the main homepage, you should see like I'm live right now, trading NQ futures. Or if you go to the live section, you should see it in all my past live streams as well. Oh, I can't see you. Like you don't see me live, or you don't see my channel. If you don't see my channel, click the link in my bio. That's... Oh, you don't see it live? Because I'm seeing it when I look it up, but that is a little interesting. It says I got 3 watching, so some people found it. Well, that is a little unfortunate. I don't know why it would not be showing up. Because when I look up my channel, I can see it. I can see my channel and my live stream. Obviously on my channel, once you click on it, I see it on the homepage, but also under the live section. So a little bit weird. I would send you a link, but I can't send links on TikTok for some reason, even though it's my thing. Because like obviously I don't want other people sending links because that would be spammy and annoying. Well, I should be able to send links to my own thing. I just sent it, but I don't. It's probably gonna go away or get deleted because that's how TikTok works. I looked you up and you were at the top. That's where I followed. Nice, nice. Can you see the live stream on YouTube? Do you get alerts in the morning? I don't. I guess no. I don't really know how to. But I do go live on both here. I did. The chat didn't seem to work though. Oh, interesting. I see Dylan's been chatting in the YouTube chat. Huh. Freaking YouTube, what the heck? I am working on a Discord though. Once I have that up and running, I'll let you guys know so you guys can check that out because then I might set up like a bot or something that just like alerts you guys when I go live on YouTube or TikTok or both. But hopefully you can find the live tomorrow. If not, you should be able to find it here on TikTok. And then, yeah, YouTube link in bio. You should be able to find the stream. I'm not sure why the chat wouldn't be working though. Let me try. Hello. Or maybe I just, no, I'm looking in the past. All I see is Dylan's messages from earlier. Yeah, a little weird, but hopefully get that figured out and works for anyone, because I also prefer YouTube. Like as a viewer, I'd rather watch a live stream on YouTube or Twitch than TikTok, just because like I have like a laptop, and even like on my phone, I like the horizontal landscape layout instead of the vertical. So hopefully you can figure that out. Actually, I'll probably schedule a stream. I've been forgetting to do that, but I'll probably schedule a stream so that way it's like scheduled for tomorrow at like 7:25, 7:30 my time, 9:30 Eastern, 9:30 a.m. I like YouTube on TV 75-inch. Oh yeah, that's much better than a phone. That's what I'm saying. Dang, Bullfly could be kind of tempting here though, actually. I probably should be done here soon though, but like low key, it could get a nice little push up here off this pullback. But yeah, maybe I'll send you the link like just over like a DM. Is that a thing? But yeah, you shouldn't need like a link to see the YouTube live stream. Definitely a little annoying, not gonna lie. Of course, I don't even know if you can send links over like TMs. Unless maybe it's like someone you approved the DM. I don't even know. I'll follow you on TikTok then. Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, hopefully you can find it. If you subscribe, you'll probably find it tomorrow. I don't see why you wouldn't, but maybe the bad luck will continue. I'll try and figure it out. And then hopefully tomorrow it'll be good to go. But yeah, appreciate the follow, appreciate all the support. Glad you guys enjoy the vibe. Yeah, hopefully see you guys tomorrow. But I'm gonna head out, go eat some lunch, work on some other stuff. Yeah, well, I will be live tomorrow, both on TikTok and YouTube. Hopefully you guys can find it. And again, check out Funny Ticks if you're interested. They got a good deal right now. Use my code, help support the channel. If not, no worries though. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Peace out.